Reviewing tanks. Morrison walked into his tank garage and flipped the light switch. It was a big, spacey place, and he had a couple of machines left over for sale still. Ever since that dreadful battle on Sirius Prime last year, people have been coming here to buy some machines from his ever-shrinking inventory. Behind him walked in the reviewer, a strange bird by the name of JB, who looked around and immediately locked eyes on Morrison's prized possession. One of his older machines, and although he had to agree that it did the job it was designed to do, the tank wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The reviewer walked around the machine and waved his scanner at it, each time grunting with apparent dissatisfaction. Took Morrison a couple of seconds, but he quickly understood that the man didn't like what he saw. He had plenty of other vehicles in his garage, and most were beautiful factory builds. So he was a little startled when JB walked over to him and began complaining. "See, Morrison, I wanted to like this tank. I really did. But it was designed by someone who lacks sufficient skill and knowledge. Look at the rough edges of the armor plating. Even the turret is crooked. Seriously, how can one even begin thinking about building such a dreadful thing?" The man poked at his hand scanner and then pointed at the tank's interior. "There is no structure here. Every internal system placement looks rushed, and the crew would be troubled by this daring battle. Not the proper way to place the interior armor layers, too. Again, here and here we have more crooked edges, and the main gun assembly is out of alignment by 0.000.2 microns." He inhaled and, annoyed, shuffled away from the tank. Had the engineer took his time to polish his creation and fix all those errors, that machine might have been good enough quality. But as it is, no. Morrison nodded and smiled at him, his left eye twitching for a second, as he was listening to him complaining about something he didn't understand completely. He guided him to the back end of his garage and tapped the brand spanking new armor of the factory-made tank. The supply ship had dropped off this batch a week before, and they were selling like hotcakes. Made on one of the bigger and heavily industrialized colonies, the Halberd Mark III followed an old and established design put together by a whole team of experienced engineers. They could count on the aid of a VI software and a huge robotic factory to fix any imperfections in the overall design. JB smiled, walked around this one, nodding in agreement. "Excellent. This is what I want to buy, Morrison. Why the hell are you even wasting your garage space keeping that old scrap heap over there?" Morrison's eye twitched again as he could no longer keep his mouth shut. "Because it's my fucking garage, that's why. And yes, for your perceptive, you are absolutely correct. That tank over there is far from perfect. It is rough around the edges. Its armor is not layered properly, and the turret, as you mentioned, is crooked, and the main gun assembly is off by a full 0.000.2 microns." Morrison waved his hands in the air in apparent outrage. "But the colonists who had it loved it to bits. The one who built it, not that you even know about it, was a self-taught engineer. The vehicle was the first he had ever built, alone, sick as a dog, and on a tight deadline. He didn't have the shiny robotics factory to fashion perfect parts, but only his two hands and only the basic of tools. There was nobody there to tell him the perfect way to build things. He had to think on his feet. I want you to sit on that chair, glue your feet on it, and with your right hand tied behind your back, while vomiting your guts, build me a tank like this one. And Morrison pointed at the shiny factory made Halberd Mark III. What? Are you crazy, Morrison? I'm not an engineer. To begin with, and the man suddenly turned around and looked at the decrepit tank once more. Wait, just goddamn minute, Morrison. Are you pulling my leg here? You want me to believe that people went to war in it? Really? This is madness. No, it's not madness, but a hero of the Sirius Defense War, JB. This machine is called Defiance and destroyed more than 20 enemy tanks in one battle alone. Yes, many brave colonists have died in it, but they pulled that tank after each and every battle, fixed it, and continued fighting. Its main gun is off, but they knew about it and corrected their aim. The fucking armor plating is not layered with perfect precision, so they're always position the tank to compensate for this. It was everything they had, and their family survived because of it. Once after the main turret was blown off, they used it as an ambulance to evacuate hundreds from the battlefield. This ugly, imperfect tank saved thousands of people. You are absolutely right when noting all of its shortcomings and rush constructions and everything. Morrison pointed at the halberd and, with a crooked smile of his own, JB, that shiny new tank, fresh off the assembly line, is exactly what you need. In fact, it's the only thing you could ever be satisfied with. You are a man who values perfection above all. Take it or leave it. The stunned client waved his cred chit over Morrison's PDA and left, buying his last three halberds. And he, before closing down for the day, checked Defiance. He jumped inside and immediately all systems turned on, as the voice of the now long dead engineer spoke calmly and enthusiastically from the main computer. All systems on. I am ready to fight. If you enjoyed this narration, then please consider supporting the author, the Black Knight. Links in the description below where you can find his book on Amazon. And he is regularly found on minds.com. Also, consider supporting this channel with likes, thumbs up, a kind note, and subscribing. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and farewell.